So again, here in Tanzania, I'm telling you, we have the same issues. We have the same problems. We have the same issues. But it's all about management. As I told you that we have the three triplets, which is management, feeding, and nutrition. So like here, the issue we do have the grass. The grass is perfect. I cannot say anything. It's not even congested like in our country. And they do have the same grass like ours. The breeds, people have taken them there because I have showed you a very good breed here. But actually, I think this is what you're supposed to do, or this is what you're supposed to know. One, you're supposed to know what goats want. And when I talk about what goats want, I look at the hygiene. You're forgetting about the hygiene. The hygiene is one of the things that you shouldn't forget when you're doing goat farming. Two, the housing is supposed to be a perfect housing, because there is no way how you can maintain the hygiene if you are having a poor house. If your house is poor, there is no way how you can maintain the hygiene. Then three, the kids management. Remember, in whichever business you do, you're looking at the profits of the business. So the profits of goat farming is all about the kids. So now if you leave the kids to move around anyhow, they are not controlled, do expect them to die. Three, they have a special management skill for the kids. Actually, if you could equip your worker with the skill of management of kids, you would get more goats. Because if they die, it's you who is losing. If they get sick, it's you who is losing. And your target, all the investment of yours, is being valued by the kids. So basically, as I told you, that these are the things that you really need to know about goat farming. You just have to have land, you have to have good pastures, you have to have a good housing, and then you have to have some drugs that can keep you moving, because we are dealing with life. An animal can die, an animal can get sick, but how do you handle? That is the issues that you're supposed to know. You have to vaccinate. You people, all the losses, all the setbacks that we have here in Uganda is all about simple things like vaccination. Vaccination means, it doesn't mean treatment. It means to vaccinate that animal about a certain drug, or is to create awareness of the is to make the body know that there is a disease which is called so and so that can come in your body. It's not the vaccine that prevents the disease, but it's the body that is stimulated to produce antibodies against a certain disease. So you people never neglect vaccination. Vaccination is one of the leading activities that are making people be the giant of any project. You cannot tell me that in South Africa somebody can miss a vaccination schedule. Never. Like in any other country that is successful. But here, the only thing that we only need to vaccinate when there is an outbreak. We only need to vaccinate if we have heard that there is a disease that will come. I want you to adopt this. Let's have a chat. Let's know which kind of diseases are we supposed to vaccinate against. At least everywhere. At least after 6 months. We know, and we put that cost on a chart. That if you are doing CCPP, if we are doing PPR, if we are doing Clostridios, if we are doing Brucella, then let's also do pox. Because there is also some other drug that we need to find out, the vaccine we need to find out, and that is the vaccine for OFF. Because OFF is also common in our country, or in some areas of our animals. So make sure that you vaccinated all that. Then look at the tick-borne diseases, which really come as a result of poor spraying system, underdosing when you're mixing the acaricide. So those are things that can come in, but those are manageables. You get. So if we do the vaccination, we have good houses, we have good pastures, we have good goats. What can make you fail? What can make you fail? I always tell you that we people who don't have much money, we would involve in this project. Reason being, this project can favor us. How? It doesn't need a lot of money to start it. You can start slowly, one by one. But what we as Ugandans, we always need to think about troubleshooting of an issue when it has already started. But me, I believe to have a backup always in your life. If you don't have a backup in your life, you'll never be successful. Because you might build, it's like building a house when you don't have a foundation. So basically, let's stop thinking about what we are going to get, but let's think about our backup. So you can start a project when you don't have the money. Like you have little money, it's not much money, you buy one by one goat, you accumulate. Because these goats produce, they always produce many times. But you can be there when you're dealing with big amount of money. But if there is no money and a problem comes, you're going to sell on what you already invested in. So my dear, my mind is telling me that we just need to know the concept. It's not that goats is the only project that can work, but for me, it's the simple project that can work for me. And more even other people, it can work for you. Reason being, if you have, let's say, land, you don't need to know what goats are feeding on. You get it? Unless if you look at the growth rate, their body score, that can determine and tell you that I don't have enough pastures for my goats. Let me do a supplementation. Then some other thing I want to clarify. Those people who have bigger chunk of land, we have the grasses in our country. Just know how to manage those pastures by creating some spaces. You leave them, you don't overgraze them. Let them grow their own natural pastures. I showed you some of the areas that really had the fodders, which had very good proteinous grasses. So you are on another level of life because you have the land. You can resignate some area, remove all the bad weeds, then let others grow, which are really good and palatable and nutritious. But for us who cannot afford to have bigger land, that's why we really need pastures in our farms. Actually, even you who have bigger lands, the more you increase on the number of the goats, you will have to think about the pastures, and you need to think about which kind of pastures they're supposed to. So, people, I'm really so happy that I'm updating you, and I really thank you people who follow me and work. It doesn't make sense for you to follow me and you don't work. It really hurts because you waste a lot of time, you waste a lot of your MBs watching me and you don't start. There is a disease called starting. You know, every farmer, every person who wants to start a project, he has that disease called starting. Every time you say, I'm going to start, then you find yourself taking a whole year minus starting. Break it. Even if you break it with a simple material, with a few goats, let it be poor quality goats if you really have the land. But don't try to go for the poor quality goats when you are putting in a much pastures to manage them. You'll be just looking at the loss. Thank you very much. Let me wish you the best. I hope to see you next time.